So the fact you're here tonight tells us that you guys want to learn how to fill your showroom with cars without spending any money. Now, you're in the right place, whether you're looking to start a new business and short of setup cash, whether you've got a business already buying and selling cars, but you're new to this concept, or whether you've got an existing business and you're offering this service, but you want to scale it. You want to go bigger, faster, better. If you've got an absolute full understanding of how to do it, but you want to be able to do it more efficiently, this is the right place for you. And let's say you know absolutely nothing about it and you want to get started on it, this is the right place for you too. So the method we're going to talk about is sale or return. Now, sale or return has been around for a long time, so there's nothing new there. But if you could just type in the chat if you know what sale or return is. If you're not sure, put not sure. It doesn't matter. If you know what sale or return is, put yes. And if you really think you've got a really poor idea, let's make that a no. Just have a look, put them in the chat so we get an idea of whether you know what sale or return is. Now, I know some of you in the meeting, in the group, are not motor car related, so you probably won't have a clue unless you've heard me talking about it. What we got in the chat, Raf?
So obviously, Mr. Myers, smart, and Andy knows what it is. Ria doesn't, as she said, kind of. Okay. So you guys that are dealing in cars every day, you know what sale or return is, and the rest of you are kind of, unless you spoke to me about it or not sure. All right, fine. So the benefits of filling your showroom using sale or return. I mean, look at this guy. This guy, he's chuffed to bits because his stock essentially is free of charge. It actually inspires a productive team. So, if you're an employer of people and you know what it's like when it's quiet, when there's downtime, if you could get them to fill your showroom with cars in a way that's enjoyable, like they feel they're providing a service rather than, hiding, playing on their mobile phone, pretending to be busy when they're clearly not. Now, another great benefit of doing this is there's no preparation cost. So as a garage owner, you buy a car from an auction, and then you've got to prep it. You've got to spend money on it. You've got to do it up. Doing it this way, the customer pays for all of those repairs because it's not your car essentially. Now, there's also opportunities. If you offer finance and extras, there's an opportunity to sell finance and extras on cars that you wouldn't have typically had. So that's just extra profit generated from nothing. And on average, just in case you didn't know, you can earn on average £2,000 per car. Now, it can be a lot higher. That's just a really good average. 1,500 is probably the worst case scenario. 2,000 is your average. And then depending on the stock level, it goes up from there basically. And it's also a great way to show your business. If you're offering the general public the ability to sell their car from your showroom, then they're going to come to your showroom. They might not have seen your showroom. They're going to recommend other people to your showroom that might not have come to your showroom. And also, they might see a car that you've got while they're there. It happens. They come in, oh yeah, look at that over there. And before you know it, they drop one off and they drive away in one. Happy days. So it's a win-win for everybody in that situation. So what's the problem then? If sale or return offers all these benefits, what is the problem with it? Why isn't everybody offering it? Well, the first thing is, where do you find the customers? Where do you find the customers? If you're, in a garage where somebody walks in and says, can you sell my car in your showroom for me? Great. But really, to do it sustainably, you need two of those to happen every day. And, it just doesn't happen that often. So that's what we mean by where to find the customers consistently. The other thing is calling people on the phone. Hello, I see your car's up for sale. Would you like us to sell it for you? Creates them kind of cold calling sales, them icky sales emotions that you know what I'm talking about. Also, the amount of time invested versus the result, 5%. So literally, quick example, if you was to call 100 people on the phone and say, hey, I've got this showroom. Would you like us to sell your car for you?
you're probably going to end up closing them on the day, on the phone in one call with about 5%. That's 95 people telling you no. That's a lot of hard work and a lot of time invested for a very low result. And the thing is, and I think this is probably the most important thing, how do you get a customer to trust you? I mean, basically, you're calling them up out the blue. They've got their car up for sale somewhere and it's £20,000. And you call them out the blue and you say, hey, I'm calling from. And what I'd like to do is come and collect your car, take it away from you with the logbook, the book pack, the spare key and everything. I'm going to take it to my showroom. I'm going to valet it, professionally photograph it, do any TLC that needs doing. I'm going to do this, that, and the other, photograph it, valet it, park it in the showroom, handle all the appointments. And then when the car's sold, I promise I'll pay the money into your bank account. Now, if that's not enough, on top of that, typically you're going to have to tell them that they need to reduce the price of their car because it's a little bit high. And it's the only way that you are going to be able to make any money out of the deal. Now, if you think about the customer's face when you say that down the phone, doesn't this just look like that customer? I mean, put yourself in the position of a customer going through the process I've just mentioned. Would you do it? Okay. So who are we and how do we know this stuff? And more importantly, why are we telling you about us? Because most of you guys know us. Those of you that don't, fantastic. Thanks for coming. But this isn't to bore you, and it certainly isn't to boast. The importance of who we are and what we know and how we know this is the experiences and the knowledge that we've picked up over the years that allowed us to get where we are today by the knowledge and the experiences that we can now share with you so you don't have to go through it. That's why. So I'm Gary. I went from literally a YTS mechanic, £27.50, 1985, I think that was, just to give you a clue how old I am now. I then went off to Spain and sold timeshare and got into car sales. I ended up in sales management and then became a results coach, which is my passion. I then transitioned into becoming a knowledge broker. Anyone who really wants to know what that's all about, you can private message me later. But it is part of what we've done today. And I'm now an entrepreneur, marketer, and I'm privileged and honored to tell you that I'm now a coach and trainer for Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. When I look at that, it's humbling. And sometimes I look at it and wonder, is that really me? Okay, so this is my partner and co-founder of SOR Blueprint. We call him Rafinsky in the trade. And Raf moved to the UK after graduating in software development. He worked in a warehouse and then transitioned up to supervisor. And he's also worked and got a vast experience in IT and software support, development, and so on. He's been a car sales executive for a massive motor car company, and he's also been a buying consultant. He also then went off to become the head of and run a sale of return, and he's now an entrepreneur and marketer like myself. So the journey that brought us here. Now this is quite long. I'm going to go through it quick. We actually met as rivals working on the sales floor of that large car supermarket. And after 5 years of working together, we went our separate ways. I went to pursue coaching and Raf went off to run a sale of return. Once I was certified as a coach, I had to learn marketing so that I could sell myself, my services, or get clients. And Raf soon realized that sale of return wasn't as easy as he thought. It all comes down to trust. Raf was deep in the valley, and his words, he wanted to shoot himself in the face. Now, when Raf asked for my help and explained how sale of return works, I replied, "Oh, no, it can't be done." And I don't know how many times I said that. A lot. It probably done his head in. Finding a solution to this challenge involved blood, sweat, and tears from both of us. There were many moments where I've packed my bag and said, "I'm going." And he'll agree to that. We also had many realizations along the way. that sale and return actually require sales and marketing to work together. The thing is, traditionally, they don't. They're actually enemies. Just type in the chat if you know that there was, or if you knew there's a difference between sales and marketing. And if you know that what the difference is between sales and marketing. Most people think they're the same thing, but just type in the chat, yes, you do, no, you don't, or not sure. Because sales and marketing are very different. And even Raf won't mind me saying he didn't know the difference. And I kept saying to him, this is sales and marketing, bro. It can't be done. I remembered it from my timeshare days. Sales and marketing, it can't be done. What have we got in the chat, Raf? Anything?
I see Mr. Myers, Mr. the most experienced in marketing. Obviously, he knows.
Yeah.
That's his core. Marty's not really sure.
Okay.
So probably Marty's in the same, thought the same as I did.
Yeah.
For a long time, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And probably, you know, through my timeshare experience, I kind of knew, but I wouldn't have known how to categorize them. It's only through meeting my friend Sol, who's here tonight, and going through the virtual coach and these marketing programs that we immersed ourselves in, that we really got a flavor of, yeah, there is a massive difference. And to understand the massive difference, you've got to understand it and identify it before you can look at finding a solution. And so that's what we set to work to do. We call it the trick that leads to the truth. And I'm going to give you a real quick story, especially if you really don't know the difference between sales and marketing. And this story is actually a first-hand experience from Raf. So Raf moved into our new home a couple of years ago. And where he lives, they laid in the foundations for super fast internet through Vodafone. It was the new, all singing, all dancing, fastest internet on the planet. And it was going to be installed in his house. He was even on the waiting list to tell him, look, come and contact me as soon as it's ready, because I want to have it put in. So he gets a call from the marketing department. I'll say that again, the marketing department. Hey, Raf, I heard you're interested in our fastest super fast broadband. Yes. Okay. Well, it's going to take a couple of weeks. This is the monthly cost. This is how fast it's going to go. It's X amount of money and it'll be on in a jiffy. Would you like to go ahead? My God, Raf, was your tongue stuck to the glass? Yes, please, he said, without a doubt. Yes, please. No problem whatsoever. Okay. 2 weeks later, there's a doorbell. It's the engineers. They've come to install the internet. I'm going to say, even though you wouldn't think so, this is the equivalent to the salesman. Because in order to do the job now, the salespeople have got to be, the engineers have got to be honest with you. So the first question to Raf was, where do you want your router? And where is your access point? Raf says the access point is at the front of the house here, and I want the router at the back where the old one was. Their response was, okay, no problem. It means we're going to have to rip up your floors and pull down your walls, and all this damage is at no cost to us. That'll be something that you have to take care of. Would you like us to go ahead? At this stage, they're at his door. He's in the moment. He's ready. He can feel that internet. He wants it in. So he puts up with it and says, yeah, okay, go ahead. The problem with sale or return and mixing these two together, imagine if Vodafone had called Raf and said, hey, you're on the waiting list for the fastest broadband in the area. It takes a couple of weeks. We're going to come round. It's going to be this much money and it's going to have this kind of speed and it's going to be super reliable. Okay, so far, pumpkin. Yeah, okay, so far. Where's your access point and where's your router? My access point's at the front of the house and the router's going to go at the back. Okay, well, this will mean that we're going to have to rip your walls out and dig your floors up, and you're going to be responsible to do all the repairs and pay for the damage. Do you want to go ahead? Type in the chat what you would have said if that was you. What we got, Raf?
Nope.
No. Okay. Can you see, just type in the chat, yes or no. Can you see sales and marketing? Marketing, we're going to give you the best broadband in the world. It only takes 2 weeks and it's really, really cheap. Would you like it? It's going to be awesome. You're going to be the envy of all your neighbors. Marketing. Sales, in order to do it It's going to take 2 weeks. It might take longer. We're going to have to dig up your garden, rip out your walls, pull up your floors. You're going to have to pay for all the damage. You can't do it. So sale or return, hello, we're going to do all this for you, but you need to reduce the price of your car, and you need to reduce the price of the car and pay us a fee. And you need to trust that we're going to put the money in your bank at the end of it. No way. So sales and marketing.
Yeah, Mark just mentioned marketing is the hook, which pretty much is just to make you interested.
Yeah, marketing is the hook. Sales is the reality. From the car advert, if you like, this car is mint. It's beautiful. There's not a mark on it. Then the customer turns up to buy it, look round it, and they go, oh, there's a scratch here. Well, yeah, but it's, 10-year-old. It smokes a bit. Well, yeah, it's old enough to smoke. Well, all them kind of things. It's kind of the end result has got to be honest. Otherwise, it can't be carried out. But the marketing is a little bit poetic license. And they're essentially the main differences, especially within this sale or return scenario. Anything to add, Raf, before I move on?
No, all good, mate.
All right, cool. So sale or return is a free service that any showroom can offer. So anyone can do it. It doesn't matter whether you've got big premises, small premises. You can do it. You can offer it completely free of charge to your customers. And it comes with a load of added benefits for you, them, and the buyer. But we'll come to that in a minute. So what you're about to learn is how and where to find the leads, how to leverage your stock type, how to nurture your customers and gain their trust. You're going to learn the opening and closing call, what to avoid, what needs to happen and what you need to avoid, and what you can offer your customer. Because at the end of the day, if you're brand new to it, you're not even going to know how do you do it? What do the contracts say? What do you actually offer? What can you offer? What can't you offer? How does it work? What's the process? So we're going to show you what you can offer. Okay, so going on to how and where to find the leads. There's various options. You can use Facebook, eBay, Gumtree, Piston Heads, Classic Cars. These are all kind of places that you can find people who are selling their car. You could actually drive around and contact people where they've got a for sale, phone number or sticker in the car window. Our preferred option was Auto Trader. With Auto Trader, you can be very specific, e.g. radius, how far you want to travel, what type of car, what kind of price, mileages, colors, specifics. And then because it's Auto Trader, even though you don't actually have their number because it's hidden, you can just call them. And so Auto Trader was our preferred option for that. You could be really specific and you could just call them. All of the other options, eBay, Gumtree, Piston Heads, Classic Cars, Facebook, they tend to be messages. And messages is not really a great way to become friends with someone. It's not a very good way to engage your audience or even gain that trust. Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to trust. Anything to do with sales is trust. So how to leverage your stock. This is pretty cool because if you had a forecourt where you sold cars up to a certain value or a certain type of car, but you wanted to go into some more fancy stuff, then you could just target them. If you wanted to fill your showroom with Evokes or VW Beetles or Porsches, you could just focus on those, which means you've got less people to call, less time, it's more efficient, it's more focused, you're not so spread out. The benefit to being specific about your stock also is, and I'm sure you guys in the trade know, if you've got 2 or 3 Evokes in stock, when you call number 4 and say, oh, you've got an Evoke, we've got 3 others, the owner's going to think, well, yeah, my car's going to sell better there because there's other Evokes. It looks like an Evoke dealership. And the buyers, they're going to love it because when they come to look at one, they're probably going to buy one because there's 3 or 4 to choose from. And from a dealer's perspective, you benefit from all of that because if they don't buy one of them, they buy the other one and you earn your minimum £2,000. So, and actually it works in favor when it comes to hooking your client. So we had one because we nurtured him correctly. We didn't burn him. And over a long time, he had a beautiful orange Evoque, talking about Evokes, beautiful orange Evoque. He was very skeptical. He wasn't in any hurry, all them typical things. It wasn't until we told him we've got 3 others. I think at the time we had We said, oh, your car's going to look beautiful between these two black ones. And he went, what, you've got other Evokes there? And we said, yeah, we've got 3. And he went, oh, yeah, cool. Come and get it. So it literally, you just offer one thing like that and it changes everything. So learning how to leverage your stock type is massive. And nurturing the customer. You need to call a customer and overview everything quickly. But if you do that, 1, they won't believe you. 2, they won't trust you. And 3, they'll be overwhelmed. And that's not good. This process needs to be done over a period of time in small, digestible amounts. The issue here is that if you keep calling them, it's going to come across like you're desperate, and they'll actually feel pressured and chased. Now, I don't know if you've heard this saying, but people, and I'm sure, type in the chat if you hate to be sold things. You can say you hate salesmen if you like, that's fine. But do you hate to be sold things? Most people hate to be sold things, but they love to buy things. And that's really important when we're talking about sale or return. Now, if you don't keep in touch and make a friend, they do nothing. This is a bit of a paradox for me and Raf, because if you chase them, they avoid you. And if you don't chase them, they don't do anything. Now, when it comes to nurturing a customer, we had one of these, perfect example. Her name was Sue, and she had a son with a CLA 45, a white one, lovely little car. He was abroad. We offered our services. They said no. He said no. She said no. Both separately, actually. That's 2 no's. I'm not just repeating myself. They both said no. And over a period of time, because we didn't do what we're going to tell you to avoid doing in a minute, we didn't burn them, we didn't upset them, we didn't intimidate them. We nurtured them through a process that we've created. And it wasn't until, believe it or not, she received a notification from us saying, why don't you unsubscribe from our messages if you're not interested? Because we don't want to bombard you with stuff that it isn't of any value to you. And when she received that, because of the way we treated her, because of the way we nurtured her, she said, do you know what? I don't care whether my son wants to do it or not. I've told him what we need to do. And he says, well, I can't go back to them now and tell them yes when we've already told them no. And she said, well, I'll do it then. And she did. And that's because the customer was nurtured correctly over time, no overwhelmed, no intimidation. So the opening closing call, if nothing else you get from this training this evening, this is the biggest words of advice that we can offer. So if you feel like picking up the phone tomorrow and calling people on Auto Trader to offer your services to sell their car, the biggest advice is don't try to deal before you make a friend of someone until at least they know, like, and trust you. Avoid overwhelming them. Avoid too many follow-up calls because of that desperation. Avoid pressuring them into make a decision. They need to make a decision on their own. They need to sell themselves. They need to buy you, not be sold you. Don't use intimidating tactics or burn other local dealers and garages. Avoid those unsavory comments, even if it's not going your way. Even if the customer's not being honest or real. I called someone in the early days. He's got a beautiful XJ Jaguar. And the photo was of Jaguar in a showroom. So I called him up and offered our service. And he was not interested at all. And I was like, oh, I wonder why. And before we got this nurturing program and this, the understanding and the knowledge that we've got today, I said to him, you don't think selling your car in a showroom will be of any benefit to you whatsoever? And he said, no. And I said, oh, can I ask then why the photograph of your car is a photograph of your car in a showroom? And he hung up. And that was the end of that. Just shows you. But yeah, avoid that, because that's a dead lead then. He's gone, he's finished, he's never coming back. Now, when it comes to what you can offer, you can basically offer anything you want, whatever you want. However, we found that, and we recommend that you add as many services as you can. So example, do you want to collect the vehicles from customers? Do you want them to be delivered only?
You could send them invites. We used to invite them for cake. We even gave John Lewis vouchers just to get them in. Once they're there, they're happy. They know you. They like you. They trust you. They leave the car. Are you going to valet the car? Are you going to prep the car? Are you going to do main dealer drop-offs? You know, if they've got a car in manufacturer warranty and the car needs something doing to it. I can give you an example. We spoke to Colin, XKR, Jaguar. He'd had the car for 3 years and his mirror had needed fixing for those 3 years. It was advertised on Auto Trader. We called him and said, do you want some help selling it? And he said, well, I need to get the mirror fixed first. This is after 3 years. The car isn't anything to put it off. And we said, we'll add a service to this. We said, how about if we get the mirror professionally repaired for you? We won't charge you up front. We'll take it out of the money from the car and we'll get it repaired at trade rate. So it'll be professional and cheaper than what you could get it for. He said, when can you come and collect the car? We bought the car in and it sold something like a week later. So you can imagine, by offering to do little things for your customer at your expense and time, you take the money back. I mean, if you want to make some money on that, you can. If you want to, do a service, if their car needs servicing before they sell it and you want to charge them for a service, then you're actually getting work in that you probably wouldn't have had if that's something you want to do. Okay. So to pull all that off successfully at the serious high level that we did, here's a few things that you're going to need. You're going to need really good car industry knowledge. You're going to need the ability to coach or an understanding of coaching. You're going to need to know marketing and the difference between sales and marketing. You're going to need sales and customer service experience. You're going to need to understand and have a knowledge of psychology. You're going to need to know how to automate some of this stuff using CRM automations. You're going to need to know how to set that up. And you're going to need to know what are you going to put in these emails and what to say on the phone. You know, what can I say? What can't I say? So you're going to need content for your emails, calls, and call scripts. You're also going to need a process to follow, and you're going to need contracts at the end of the day. So when you do a deal, your contracts are all worded correctly and prepared, ready to go. So to get all those things I've just mentioned, how much time and money to become qualified in those things would it cost? So how many years and how much money? Just type in the chat for me. How many years and how much money would it cost to get qualified in those things listed there? What we got, Raf?
Yeah, so Dave obviously said too much.
Too much?
He's aware how much it all takes, yeah. Matt says many years.
Many years.
It is, yeah. So even if you do it for over 5 years, you still need to pay yourself somehow. So it takes a long time.
Yeah. Okay. Any more?
No, that's it.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys. So imagine now, Matt, you've spent the years, Dave, you've spent the, too many years and a bundle of money learning all them things. You'd be ready to go, right? That's what we thought, because we had most of those things. And that's why I explained our who we were and how we know their experiences that we already brought to the table. They hadn't been put together yet in this format, but we thought once we got all that cracked, we were ready to go. What we realized, though, at this point, we still hadn't set up a process. We hadn't created the phone scripts. We hadn't drafted the emails. We hadn't set up the automations or optimized them. We didn't even know what this stuff was. We hadn't prepared the contracts. We needed to outline our service. What was we going to offer? What wasn't we going to offer? What could we offer? Then you've got to train your salespeople up, because it's no good if you're going to do it yourself. If you want to do it yourself, you can, but if you've got a team of people and you need to train them up too, that needs to happen. So with all them things in mind, guys, can you see why
so many showrooms don't do this, why so many showrooms don't offer sale or return. And those that do, they literally just play the numbers game. And for anyone out there that doesn't know what the numbers game was, when Raf started sale or return for a local showroom, he was told it's easy. Pick up the phone and call everybody. Eventually, someone will say yes. Now, here's the issue with that. Really poor results, uncomfortable, icky sales emotions. It's not time efficient. Most of the time is usually wasted by doing something else to try and avoid making the phone calls in the first place. Lots of rejection. Like I said earlier, 100 calls, 5 deals. That's 95 no's. Get lost. Don't believe you. It makes you feel like a crook, honestly. When you're pouring your heart out to someone, saying, we genuinely are going to sell your car for you. You're not going to sell it on Auto Trader. We're going to sell it for you. We're going to get you the maximum money. We're going to do it professionally. We're going to save you going through all this stuff, especially through COVID. We're going to take care of it all for you. And you get 95 people tell you no. It starts to make you kind of question yourself. What am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing something that's, not legit? They make you feel like a crook, even though you're very, very genuine. And how long do your sales team keep that up before they start looking for another job? Like he said earlier, Raf's words, he wanted to shoot himself in the face. It was that bad. So let me ask you a question. If you could do sale or return at the level that we did it successfully as early as tomorrow, without needing to learn everything that we've outlined tonight, without having to gain all the experience in everything that we've already mentioned, without having to create a process from scratch, without having to train your team members, without the trial and error of working it out for yourself, and without all those awful rejections on the phone. Well, if you want some good news tonight, you can. And here's how. So Raf and I have managed to combine and package all of the knowledge, our own years of experience, skills and processes that we've talked about today. And the system that we've created is the outcome is a phenomenal system process that basically does it all for you. The results we achieved exceeded our expectations, and it outgrew us fast. We now offer this awesome solution to our fellow traders, just like you. And when we say it exceeded our expectations, I come from a sales background, so I'm into the closing percentages. And I always went conservatively. And we smashed them. Every time I said a stat, Raf doubled it. And we do it easily. Crazy. So basically, we've condensed decades into days, saving you all the time that you spoke about, all the money and all the pain of having to go through it. And that's why most people don't. It's a non-starter for most. So we are really, really proud and passionate. And we'd like to introduce you guys. You're the first people to see this. We've spent a lot of time working on it and perfecting it. And we've had to create it in a way that allows anyone to use it. So you could use this tomorrow if you've got no experience of what we're talking about. And I'll show you how and why in a second. But we'd like to introduce you to the sale or return blueprint. This program is redefining sale or return. And we're going to sell it. We're going to put it across the country, digitally and in person, as of today. But you guys are getting a sneak preview. One, to help us out, but two, you're going to get a sneak preview and a superb offer. So look how simple this is. Just tell me. You choose a car on Auto Trader. Dead easy. Pick the car you want. You pick up the phone and you tell them, hey, and all you want to do here is be nice and make a friend. You're not going to ask them to do anything at all. So there's no icky sales emotion. You put the email into the system and let the magic begin. The system, the knowledge, the know-how, the understanding all happens in the background while you sleep. The customer gets nurtured. You don't need to call them back every 5 minutes. They are slowly going to become your friend. They're slowly going to get to know, like, and trust you. And then when you make the follow-up call, it's like, hey, mate, how you doing? Yeah, I was wondering when I could bring the car in. And you sign the contract that's already prepared. That is as simple as using the blueprint is. And we are under promising and over delivering here. So we're not going to tell you anything that isn't fact based. In actual fact, I'm really conservative. So if I say something's easy, it's probably really easy. Okay, so this is the blueprint in action, just to give you an idea of some stats. If you spend 1 hour on the phone and make 6 calls, using the script that we're going to give you, you're going to generate 5 emails. Now, the statistics, this is the minimums that I'm about to give you. But if you collect 5 emails from 5 customers that are selling their cars, you'll generate 1 car. That 1 car is worth to you £2,000 on average. That doesn't include extras, doesn't include finance, doesn't include anything else you add to that deal. It's £2,000 is your average. There's no pre-call research. There's no uncomfortable icky sales calls. And of course, your staff are not going to be looking for another job because they genuinely feel they're providing an excellent service to the general public in your local area. So you're probably thinking, all right, boys, so you've put something together, you've found a solution to something. How much does all this cost? Well, let me ask you this, especially for you guys here that are already in the trade. But what I'd like for you to do, if you wouldn't mind, Matt and Andy, not to single you out or anything, anybody can have a go. But if you was to invest £50,000 in stock in cars tomorrow, how much would you expect to earn from that £50,000 spent in stock once you've sold those cars that you've bought? Now, depending on what type of cars you deal in, that figure will differ, but it'd be interesting to see what the 2 car guys put in the chat. So spend 50,000 on stock, Matt. How much would you expect to earn from that? And the same for you, Andy. Just type in the chat what you'd expect to earn from 50,000 investment.
Yeah, and it's got around 8 to 10,000.
8 to 10,000.
Yeah, Matt says around 12. Obviously, depends on finance as well.
Okay,
We're
yeah,
probably
cool.
looking at an average 10.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, gents. So if you're going to put 50,000, and you will, if you're still in business, you will spend that money in stock. It doesn't matter what time period, but you will spend £50,000 on stock. Let's compare it. What about if you put 50,000 into the blueprint? Any idea how much that would potentially earn you? Anybody can have a go at this. So you put 50,000 into the seller return blueprint. For every hour you generate 1 car and you earn about 2,000 quid. So just pop in the chat what you think a £50,000 investment in seller return blueprint would bring you back. What would be your earning potential? Don't matter if you don't know. Nothing there, Raf?
They've asked 25,000? Question mark.
There's no right or wrong answer. So when you put £50,000 worth of investment into cars, you're going to earn between 8 and 10, 8 and 12,000. And that's your kind of maximum that you're going to get. If you put 50,000 into this and you can generate, I don't know, let's say you generate 2 cars a day, 10 cars a week, that's 40 cars a month. And you're earning £2,000 for each one of them. Can you see where I'm going with this? How much could you potentially earn from that 50,000 investment in the blueprint? quite good if we ask the question and it's not something that you find you can work out easily. It's good learning curve for us. Okay, if you want to type in the chat at any point, maybe we can talk about it when we open up for a convo. But I'm going to move on. We were actually thinking, actually, I'll keep it to the end. Anything else, Ralph?
No, all good, mate.
All right, cool. So let me tell you what you get in the blueprint. You get all the scripts. Literally, we've written them for you. You get the contract templates. It's all done. You just put your logo on. Well, actually, you don't. We do that for you, but it's that simple. All the automated email templates are already written. So there's a series and they're already written out for you. So you don't have to worry about that. We're going to create, now this is a pilot edition. So there will be a members area where you're going to find educational tools. There's going to be training videos. There's going to be bonuses. There's going to be updates. There's going to be templates. It's all going to be in the members area when the members area is finished. At this stage, we'll just send it to you via PDFs and so on over the internet. But that's ongoing. We're building that as we speak. So within the next couple of weeks, it'll probably be ready anyway. We're going to offer ongoing support for anyone who owns the blueprint. And you're going to get lifetime updates. And those updates will be free of charge. There's no running cost to the blueprint. Once you've purchased it, it's yours forever. We're going to set up all the CRM for you. We're going to recommend a couple of ways of doing it. We even do your branding. So we put your logos in, we connect your websites, all that sort of thing. It's all done for you. So you don't even need to know the tech. It also includes all the development that's gone on so far, all the testing that's got us the results that we've got today. And it also gives you access to, or exclusive access to phase 2, which we're not going to talk about tonight. But once you're in, you're in. There's no, this guy gets this and this guy gets that. Once you're in, you're in. So there's some additional bonuses. Now, this implementation workshop valued £10,000 is actually a day. It's a full day and it's in person or virtually. Now, while COVID's going on, let's say it's virtually. And what this means is if you bought this product tonight and you wanted to start doing sale or return at the level we've been talking about tomorrow morning, you could. Actually, you couldn't. It'll be the following morning. Tomorrow morning, you would jump on a Zoom call with me, Raf, and we would take you through on Zoom every aspect of everything we've talked about here. We'll send you all of the PDFs, all of the templates. We'll set all the tech up this end for you. So it's done. You just log in. That day, that full day is worth £10,000. Think about it. £10,000. If someone showed you how to invest £10,000 tomorrow and earn an unlimited income, would it be worth the 10,000 quid? That's a £10,000 implementation workshop. And that's included. Everybody gets it. You also get an executive coaching package valued £2,500. We haven't worked out the length and time of this yet, but it's probably going to be over maybe a month or 6 weeks. So you will get executive coaching on every aspect of the blueprint and any other business help that you need. Now, the psychology of sales and marketing training, everything that we've put into this has a value of about 5,000 quid. I probably spent £10,000 on one area of this training, and I'm going to give it all to you. Now, we have a referral program. Guys, this is mind-blowing. You could do the referral program. You could buy it and just do the referral program. So if you're traveling around, you know, maybe you don't have a showroom or a forecourt yet. Let's say you're traveling around and you're talking to dealers and, you know, you're meeting dealers and buyers and sellers. Our referral program is, we call it priceless because it's going to be absolutely massive in what we do. I think it's going to be like 10% of the program value. And all you would need to do is get us an appointment. You don't have to sell it. You get us an appointment with a dealer, whether that's through an email address, a phone call, or face-to-face. And if they buy, you get 10% of the product value. So you've got total bonuses there of £17,500. Okay. Raf, if you could put that in the chat for me, guys, if you could go to that in a new window so you can still hear and see me or hear and see the presentation. You should end up here. You type yes in the chat when you're all on this page, please.
I can bear with me.
Oh, still hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It should take you straight, if you click on the link, straight to the website.
Yeah. Click on the link straight to the website. When you end up here, type a yes in the chat. Dave Myers is the winner. Again, that's 2 out of 2, Dave Myers. Well done. Andy's there. Well done, Andy. Matt's there. Well done, Matt. Happy days. Sol's there. Excellent. Of course, like being back at school, isn't it, guys? Is everybody else all right? Have we lost anyone? Have we got problems? Anyone? Okay. Who haven't we got?
Rear left.
Rear left?
And Joe. Yeah, trying.
Oh.
She's trying.
She's trying. Okay, she might have internet problems. All right. Well, I'm going to move on for a second. So this is basically our product page. It's designed specifically for tonight because it's a bit special. Can you hear me okay, Raf?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, how to master sale or return with Gary and Raf. As you scroll down, you'll see the title of our presentation tonight, how to fill your cars with showroom with cars without spending any money. Now, I'm not going to read all this stuff for you. You can read this in your own time. Keep the page by all means. We'll email you a replay of this event tomorrow. And also it will have links to this page in it as well. So you can always come back to it. But the sale or return blueprint is where traditional car sales meets modern day online marketing. So whether you're just starting out or whether you're already doing it, well, whatever we said before, this product will work for you. Now we've broken it into 6 parts. Here's a breakdown of the entire program. So what we've done is we've broken it down into parts so it's easy to understand. We're going to start with you, so you know the fundamentals of sale and return, the difference between sales and marketing, so that you've got the psychology of how to do it. We're going to give you the success code so that you'll feel confident. We're going to give you access to the members area when it's built. We're going to give you a complete system to look after your customers and make them feel safe. We're going to give you all the best tools, scripts, everything you need in order to generate customers. And we're going to train you in our coaching methodology, in other words, so that you can actually coach customers. You don't need to be a coach to do this. It's just about asking questions. You can coach customers and they won't feel like they're being sold to. You're going to discover how and where to find your perfect contract, your perfect clients. We're going to give you the marketing templates. We're going to give you everything you need to do what we did at a high level. But because we've done it and then we've packaged it and put it together in a way that anybody can now do it, all you need to do is follow the steps. Now, without going into every single one of these options, because like I said, I know your time is valuable, but I do want to stop at this point. This is what our implementation workshop will look like, but it'll be live. So basically, we will start with that opening call script. We'll stick it in the chat. You'll download it as a PDF and we'll go through it with you every step of the way. We'll amend it to suit your personality and your business, and we'll educate you on why it's set out the way it's set out and how it overcomes the challenges that it overcomes. And then we'll go on to the next part, the emails, what to write in the emails, how to automate the emails so you don't have nothing to do. So it literally is just like you make the call, you let the magic happen. A few days later, you call them back and the likelihood is they're going to say, come and collect the car. On top of that, you're providing a really good service. I mean, it's a service where everybody wins. Now, we've got some frequently asked questions and answers here. If anybody would like to answer any of these, you can type in the chat and I'll go through it with you now, or you can just help yourself and have a look if there's a question that's not there that you'd like to know the answer to, again, feel free to put that in the chat. Let's have a look at how many employees does the blueprint allow us to. There's no limit. So you can train as many people as you want. The earning potential, again, there's no limit. We've actually got a calculator. So if after this short press, or if we email it, we'll probably email them, Raf, with the calculator so that they can put the deets in, and we'll give them a tailor-made quote. What happens if I need help? Well, we're going to offer support through WhatsApp Messenger, Facebook. We've got the coaching. We've got email support. We've got phone call support. We basically, your result is more important to us than selling the blueprint, if that makes sense. We really do want it to work for you. And that's the purpose of the implementation workshop. At the end of the implementation workshop, you'll be up and running. Literally, you'll have cars already starting to build up in your pipeline. Can I use seller return as a brand new business? So if you're in a job you hate and you're thinking, maybe I'd like to set up a business buying and selling cars, but I haven't got £500,000 for stock, then yeah, you can use it as a standalone business for startups. All you need is premises, generate other people's cars for stock. You could have the best garage in the world and have no debt. Amazing. Okay. So this suits you. This blueprint is for you, whether you're experienced or not, whether you are experienced, or you're brand new. It fits. We've packaged it in a way that it fits for everybody. You could be going like full speed ahead, and we'll show you how to go faster. You might have no experience in it at all, but you want to build your stock up using seller return. We'll show you how to do it. Easy, simple, effortlessly. Or if you're brand new and you want to do a standalone, of course you can. Now, what we've done on top of everything, before we get to the costings, we've actually included, because we're so proud and passionate and confident in what we've done, what we've created and what we're offering you 100% secure, earn your money back guarantee to give you peace of mind. So in our guarantee, if you do everything, if you go through the implementation workshop and you set up the templates and you make the calls and you follow the scripts and it's not worked, we just need to check that you've done what you say you've done to make sure you've done it. And if it hasn't worked for you, then it's our fault. So we're going to give you enough of the cars using the same process to earn your money back. So it doesn't cost you a penny should it not work. I can't think of a more fair and reasonable offer than that. Okay. So as you can see, I don't know if you're all at the bottom of the page. I'm going to carry on anyway because I'm conscious of time. The full price of this package isn't 50,000. It's actually 24,997, which means you'd have to generate 12 cars in order for it to pay for itself. And then you can continue generating cars using this system forever. So it has an unlimited income potential. Now, the advanced, this is typically going to be the standard, I say the standard blueprint that we sell online with the online workshop, the virtual support, the CRM, everything that's included there. And that's normally 997. Now, because this is a launch for us, it's a practice, it's a pilot, and the members area is not built. We're actually going to sell this for, I think, a week. Is that right, Raf? Are we selling this for a week?
Yep. 6 days.
So this is on sale for 6 days for 2,497. It's got £17,500 worth of bonuses. It's got an implementation day to make sure you succeed. There's no way we're going to let you fail. It's not worth it to us. We want to see this product, this service being offered in every showroom around the country. And we'll put our heads together and we'll make that happen. So for 2,497, all you need to do is generate one car. And to be fair, whoever buys the first one, I think I'm going to give them that first car anyway, as a gift from us. So they need to generate one car, and then you've got the full product, which you'll own forever, to generate with as much cars as you like. Before we leave the pricing page, Raf, if you click on the continue button. So when you sign up, all it does is create you an account. You'll go to a members area. You'll get an email. One of us will be on the phone tomorrow. We'll give you a call. We'll organise your implementation workshop. And like I said, the first buyer, I'm probably going to generate the first car as a gift for you. So we're going to set it up, use the blueprint in your business name, and deliver that first car to you, as long as you don't work too far away. So it'll set up your members area. If you're serious about filling your showroom with cars without spending all your money or large sums of money, using this proven sale or return process with all the scripts, the templates, everything that we've mentioned tonight, with lifetime updates, your executive coaching, your implementation day, your psychology of sales marketing, your access to the referral program, back to the referral program on the prices. If you get us an appointment and we go and sell a 24,997 product, you will get £2,500 commission. If you get us an appointment through email where we do a 997 membership, then you'll get £1,000. We won't be offering any referral fees on the cheaper version because it won't be on offer shortly, and it'll just be you just buy it, collect your templates, and you crack on your own. So the 997, the £10,000 one will be the common one, and all you have to do is recommend us, get an email address, get us an appointment, and you'll have about £1,000 commission. Ralph, do you want to add anything before I go back to the Zoom room?
No, I think you covered everything.
Real good. All right, cool. So let me turn off all this. Give my poor little computer a rest. How are we doing, everybody? Are we all right? Right. Does anybody